One of mankind's greatest inventions. It is found all over the world and acts as a constant reminder to the human race about their past, present, and future. In their simplest form, they are nothing more than just cultural symbols found in every society, but in their grand form, they are gods and goddesses human beings pay homage to every day. Statues and monuments are pieces of history erected in memory of outstanding individuals and events. Statues have been around since time immemorial. However, despite their long presence and being in the public eye, human beings are yet to fully understand their meaning, impact, and how they came to be. Nairobi City, which is considered one of the fastest growing cities in Africa, is the proud owner of several statues and monuments. Nairobi City has a total of 47 sites and monuments scattered strategically all over the city, in public parks, streets, and highways, all in one goal of celebrating its heroes and heroines. Professor Wendo, a communication expert and consultant based in Nairobi, seeks to demystify these human beings' creations.
Let's get to understand first that statues and monuments are cultural symbols. They are tangible symbols that are shared within a particular culture or a nation, or it could be a region or a particular community, as it were. They are historical and cultural symbols, which means that they bear messages. They in themselves carry messages which are shared, and they embody certain shared meanings that are shared within an entire society. And so, these really are instruments of communication at the cultural level. We call them instruments in the domain of cultural communication.
The Kenya National Museums, through the National Museums and Heritage Act 2006, has been given the mandate of preserving and gazetting Kenya's rich history through the use of statues and monuments. Mr. Osea Wanderi is a research scientist at the Directorate Sites and Monuments at the National Museums of Kenya.
The role of museum in regards to sites and monuments is to document and to develop inventories with the purpose of getting a feel or understanding the diversity of the heritage that is in Kenya.
Before, however, these sites and monuments are accorded protection by the national government, in conjunction with the National Museum and Nairobi City Council, they have to undergo an extensive research before they can be recommended for gazettement. After intense interrogation on the site's national importance and appeal, the National Museums then forward the gazettement proposal to the Ministry of Sports, Culture and Arts, where the Cabinet Secretary takes it to the Office of the Attorney General for further interrogation.
The Minister is empowered by the National Museums and Heritage Act to declare any site or any monument in Kenya as gazetted. So that gazettement has to go to the government press for printing, and then that's the time that it's been made official that that site has been gazetted.
The public is then given 60 days to come forward with complaints on objection while the given site should not be gazetted.
After which, if there will be no objections, now the minister will go ahead and produce another gazette notice, which is called the confirmation of gazettement. In that case, now that site is declared as gazetted, is protected under the Heritage Act.
One of such protected statues in Nairobi, which was gazetted in 2008, is the Dedan Kimathi statue along Kimathi Street. This piece of art was unveiled on August 2007 by the former President Mwai Kibaki to mark 50 years since freedom fighter Dedan Kimathi was captured, hanged, and buried at an anonymous grave inside Kamiti Maximum Prison. This statue, which costed a record 4.5 million, was created and sculptured by Kona-based artist Mr. Kevin Odur in association with Kenyatta University School of Fine Arts.
First of all, it was a tendering process. The first time I saw it on the paper, and it was like they wanted an institution rather than an individual to do the work. So when I tried to tender for the work, I was not able to go through because I was not an institution. And this is how now one of the institutions, the Kenyatta University, actually approached me to do the work as a sculptor. So that is how it all started.
The statue, which stands majestically next to Hilton Hotel, is made of pure bronze, but beneath this rare metal is a list of materials painstakingly put together until the final product standing today was unveiled.
First of all, there's metal inside, what we call the armature. That is what I started with. Then I went to using plaster of Paris on top of the metal. Then from plaster of Paris, I modeled using plasticine. Then from plasticine, I did a mold made out of silicone. From there, I did another mold, which is called a mother mold. This is a bit technical. The mother mold was actually made from fiberglass. From there, we took it to the foundry at matte bronze, and the statue was actually done bronze. So the statue is pure bronze.
The international standard for statues and monuments demands that a statue must closely resemble the individual being sculptured in flesh and bone. As for the case of Dedan Kimathi, was captured at the height of Mau Mau uprising, only to be later hanged and buried at an anonymous grave. Until today, no one really knows where his grave is situated. And to compound the situation even more, it was rarely seen on public. So how did Mr. Odur manage to come up with his image?
Actually, to me that is a difficult question, but at the same time, there were issues. One, during the tendering process, there are certain photographs that the government provided of the man, but in those photographs, the guy actually looks young, very young. He's like he's 19, 20. And then there are some that he was a teacher, but he didn't have dreadlocks. And then there was one that is well known that you see in t-shirts. That one was actually taken when Kimathi was lying down. So everybody has been trying to come up with the image by putting the guy actually standing up, but the image is actually vertical.
Yeah.
So I decided to use a video. There's a video that shows the guy being taken from court, being taken out of court, being taken to Kamiti. I used that video. There's a photograph I used of Kimathi. Lastly, the person who knew Kimathi, the wife, actually came to approve that this is the person. The person I did, the person who is standing was Kimathi. The wife was the last person to actually say this is him.
Dedan Kimathi, who was the leader and the face of Mau Mau fighters, managed to launch a guerrilla war against the British for close to a decade before he was captured. And to capture his resilience and defiant spirit, in this statue, the dreadlock Kimathi is wearing an army fatigue with a G3 rifle on his right hand, while on the left hand is holding a sword. The statue of Field Marshal Dedan Kimathi is mounted high on a pedestal. This was done purposely and a condition from the government in order to celebrate the statue of Dedan Kimathi and to show how he rose above everything to liberate Kenya from the yoke of colonial rule. On one side of the pedestal are encrypted words Dedan Kimathi lived and died for. Buildings too, just like individuals, can also play a key role in a country's history. Sitting along Moi Avenue, formerly known as Government Road, is the majestic Kenya National Archives building. This building as a few rivals in the entire Nairobi city, going by its rich history. Gavin Mudambo, a graduate from the University of Nairobi, is a tourist guide of Go Down Arts Center, which documents and informs the public about the history of Nairobi.
Nairobi began as a railway town, because when the railway came from Mombasa, while it was heading to Uganda, a lot of Indians came around, the Indian coolies who were responsible for building the railway. When they reached Nairobi, they had to, because it took a lot of time, they had to develop an institution of how they are going to send money back home, because they had stayed for a couple of years without meeting their families and friends. So due to this, they built the National Archives, which used to be called the Bank of India. They used to trade there. The money they get from being paid for building the railway and other businesses, they used to use the bank to send it back home and other transactions.
Throughout Kenya's rocky path to independence, the Indian coolies played a key role in providing skills and labor, helping nurture Kenya's fragile economy. After Kenya attained independence in 1963, they needed a national bank, and the Indian coolies again came to its rescue.
After independence, Kenyatta, the first president, did not have a functional home-grown bank. So what he did, he talked to the Indians, and they gave him the National Archives to use it as a bank, which he named it the Kenya Commercial Bank. So Kenyans traded there for a while he was building the Kencom, which is now the main branch of Kenya National Bank. Now, after finishing constructing now the Kencom, which is the main headquarters of the KCB, as a favor, he gave them the Legico building, which is now currently the Bank of India. He gave them under a lease of 99 years.
The Kenya National Archives building was built in the year 1931 and housed the Bank of India, which later merged with the Gridless Bank to form National and Gridless Bank. This bank was then taken over by the Kenya Commercial Bank in the year 1970. KCB occupied this building until 1978, when it was taken over by the government and turned into Kenya National Archives. Kenya National Archives building was finally gazetted in the year 1995. This is a copy of the gazettement proposal. The proposal states the name of the building, location, and its present use. Under the historical significance, it is stated as the first Bank of India before taken over by other bank institutions. The proposal concludes by stating, highly recommended for gazettement. The present-day Kenya National Archives owes its existence to Kenya's second Vice President, Honorable Joseph Murumbi. Murumbi, together with his European wife, traversed the whole of East Africa collecting artifacts before bringing them to the Kenya National Archives building for future preservation. Sandwiched between Kenyatta Avenue, formerly known as Lord Delamere Avenue, is another statue and a monument that act as a tribute to Kenya's contribution to World War I and II. Nearly 162,000 black soldiers fought for the British in the King's African Rifle Army as Carrier Corps, and at the end of the war, with its morbid appetite, 44,500 Kenyans had perished. This three-man sculpture made of black granite was created in the year 1918 and re-erected in the year 1945 in their honor. On the pedestal are engraved words of the immense contribution the Carrier Corps made during the war. The guardians of the city, as the Carrier Corps are known, are clearly armed to the British standards of that time, with each bearing a rifle that they magnificently pose with at arm, while the third Carrier Corps on the left is armed with a walking stick and a pouch. These statues were subjected to a heated debate in Parliament in the year 1984, when the then local government assistant minister, Jenga Mungai, revealed plans to remove and substitute them with the Mau Mau hero's Dedan Kimathi statue. The then President Moi led the matter to rest by ordering that the monument be left in place, and those wishing to erect one for Dedan Kimathi look for another site. A few weeks later, Mzee Kitiko Muku from Makueni, a veteran of both world wars, came out claiming that he was the barefooted gun bearer with a walking stick. the veteran soldier known by his Kamba Nomdagia, Mukua Ivuti, which means a gun bearer, claimed that the Tiros were honored after eliminating a German sniper who had claimed many lives in Buyuni in Taita. The present-day Kariokor market was where the Kariokops used to go to and collect their luggage before boarding the railway to go to war. It is from the Kariokops name that Kariokor market derived its name. And 50 years later, just like the Kariokops, Kenyans still go to Kariokor market to buy foodstuff and ornaments. Next to the Kariokop statue is the obelisk monument. It is fully made of grey mason stone and protrudes upwards but still maintain a human scale. And while it is no Washington monument, as it only rises ample 3 meters, it still does define the avenue better, as it creates a gateway into the heart of Nairobi Central Business District, a symbol of prestige and monumental indestructibility. And so, while statues and monuments are pieces of art used to celebrate heroes and events, monuments can also be used to pass messages and political statements. Sitting along Uhuru Highway on the well-maintained Central Park is a monument that has over the years elicited both admiration and condemnation in equal measure. This grand monument, which costed 18 million, is a clear political symbol and a statement, going by the many designs that dot the monument. It was constructed in the year 1988 to commemorate Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, 10 years of rule and 25 years of KANU leadership. Kenya was a single-party state at that time, and the cock, which is KANU's party logo, was put there to celebrate the nation's only party. It was not until 1992 that Kenya changed its constitution from a single-party state to a multi-party state. The four-sided monument is an effort at symbolizing what Kenya is all about, and all this it does in 4 separate phases. All these phases are united at one point in the central axis at Mount Kenya, with an upward stretched arm holding the famous Fimbo ya Nyayo. The stairs leading to the monument, which have been painted red in color, is an effort to create an illusion of someone climbing through the steps of a dais, ready to address a public gathering. The picture of a father with his family symbolizes the need of national unity, which was one of President Moi's philosophy of peace, love, and unity. The monument's major accomplishment is its inclusion by the Central Bank of Kenya in the year 1989 on the 100 shillings note. It is also probably the most comfortable photographic spot for a background framing within the park. However, despite the monument's major accomplishments, the monument has also managed to stir up controversy over the years. In February 1990, it was damaged by student demonstrators who hurled stones, dustbins, and other objects at the monument. Raila Odinga, then for the Kenya Deputy Director of Elections during the 1992 general election, vowed that it would be demolished once Ford Kenya comes to power. In October 2004, members of the Released Political Prisoners Pressure Group RPP demanded that a True Justice and Reconciliation Commission TJRC be established in Kenya and deface the monument.
In statues, we have stored history. In statues, we have stored heritages. In statues and monuments, we have stored and shared identities. And so there's a lot of meaning, a lot of sentimental attachment that is associated with statues and monuments. And in fact, even the statues and monuments at another level, they represent the vision, the philosophies, the morality, the norms and the mores of entire societies. You've seen